there, everyone, and happy Thursday. You know, I'm always delighted when you come and join me or decide to come and join me every evening. Okay. Thank you so much to the viewers, the guests, and the supporters of the Indie Spotlight. You know, without you, we couldn't make this happen, or I couldn't make this happen. So, special shout out to you. I want you to take a look at the two links in my Instagram bio. The first one is for my YouTube channel entitled The Indie Spotlight Philly. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Indie Spotlight Philly YouTube. You can watch all of the past and present episodes. I got about 80 episodes uploaded onto the Indie Spotlight Philly YouTube. If you subscribe to me, I would definitely subscribe back. So definitely head over there to YouTube and add and subscribe to the Indie Spotlight Philly. I will subscribe back to you. Also, I have a podcast entitled The Indie Spotlight Philly, which is available on Anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. I uploaded the first season with the first 20 episodes. Okay, I'm going to be trying to upload the second season and the third season within the year. Don't quote me on which month I'll be finished, but I'm definitely going to be bringing new content on there. So definitely like, share, subscribe, and check out the Indie Spotlight Philly podcast. Okay, guys. But tonight's episode of the Indie Spotlight Philly Thursdays, happening on Instagram Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be a stellar one. We have entrepreneur and CEO of the famco, or the Fashion Arts and Music Collective. And then we are having our second interview with hip-hop artist and lyricist T Hawk. Now I see famco is in the room, so I'm going to invite him to the camera and start the interview. Okay. For a little bit. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. How you doing today?
I feel good. I feel pretty good. So first, I wanted to tell you thank you very much for being reachable, so that I can actually conduct the interview with you. So thank you very much.
Hey, I'm happy to be on. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, could you tell me what your name is?
My name is Marvin Ryles.
Marvin Ryles, right? Okay, so Ryles. Okay. So, okay. So tell me, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. Born and raised Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm on the East Coast, but at the moment I live in Seattle, Washington.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is Pacific Standard Time?
Yep, PST. That's right.
Oh God, I didn't know that. I would have definitely put that on the. I would have put that on the flyer.
Okay,
but okay, you're in Seattle, Washington. Great. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, tell me, how did you come up with your company, and what is the concept like of your company? I see it's like a magazine that tells you about like different things about music and fashion, arts and stuff. So tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So I got my journey started in about 2013. I had a previous company that I was running with a friend of mine from back in Jersey, and we ran that for about 4 years. Ended up having creative differences, so we liquidated everything, sold it, and just went our separate ways. I got married and all that good stuff. I took a little hiatus, and then I started the famco about 3 years ago, 2018, I believe. Yep, 2018. And yeah, basically what we do is that we help artists basically with anything outside of the art. So we put together campaigns, we do photo shoots with artists, we book them with content, we create content for them. So basically anything that an artist needs, we'll do for them and allow them to just focus solely on their craft. And it's not just hip hop, it's designers, we do events, we do fashion weeks, we do editorials, all types of different stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a plethora of things there.
Yeah, great. So how long has the famco been existing since? When have you been?
So it's 2018 I opened up the famco. So about 3 years.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about like some of the people that you work with, whether they're artists, fashion designers, or models or anything.
Yeah. So basically we work with a lot of people from different. We operate out of right now 6 different cities across North America, including Vancouver, DC, out in Canada. But a lot of the stuff that we do is basically, we work with hip hop artists. I'm into lyricists. I really don't do much of the, I like the new school music, but I definitely like kind of like an old school, somebody who who writes to, like to actually get a message across instead of it being like a vibe. So we usually go after lyricists and see and connect with them and just say, hey, we know that and we know that it takes a lot to record your music, book photo shoots, get video shoots done.
It does.
Be on Instagram. Yeah, absolutely. Be on Instagram.
Yeah.
We offer that kind of photography element, that blog element. We can pitch them to different blogs. We have so many different affiliates. So we usually work with a lot of lyricists, but we basically can do anything. On the fashion designer aspect, it's a lot of streetwear. We do New York Fashion Week, Vancouver Fashion Week. We've done Tokyo Fashion Week. So there's a lot of different elements there. So it's a busy lifestyle, but we work with a lot of different people.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you definitely are keeping a lot busy.
Oh, yeah.
So could you tell everyone where everyone can find you, Marvin Ryles, and also where they can find you on all social media?
Cool. Yeah, so basically we do a lot of the Instagram is basically the main social media platform. We don't do Twitter, don't do Facebook, just basically Instagram. But you can find me at the famco, TheFamco. I literally just started my own personal Instagram. It's called That Fam Guy, and you can find me there. That's going to be less industry stuff and more just kind of personal me. And you can also go to thefamcollective.com, which would basically be our main collective website, and you can see all of our work from the time we opened up.
Great. Do you have any merchandise for sale?
So no, I personally don't have any merchandise for sale. If you go on the website, you can definitely link into the designers and the fashion people that do. But at the moment, no. We may have some Famco shirts printed, like just kind of like merches to have around and send out to people, but nothing too solid at the moment.
Oh, okay. But you do a lot of collaborations with a lot of artists.
Oh yeah.
So you were saying that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do a lot of collaborations.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What part of Philly are you in, by the way?
So I am in Philadelphia. I'm in Philadelphia, PA.
Yep.
Right now I'm in Southwest Philadelphia, PA.
Oh, okay. So I actually used to go to school out there. It's a place called Cabrini College. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have heard of that.
Yeah. Out in Lancaster, it's right next to King of Prussia Mall, about 15 minutes from King of Prussia Mall.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I spent a lot of time in Philly, definitely, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow. So, are you, so I know that you're the owner and you're CEO of Famco. Is there any other things that you do outside of this, so that you do maybe for artists, or that you just do as work?
Outside of the Famco, not really. From time to time, I'll reach out to different artists and run their Instagrams. So basically, I'll be behind their Instagrams and putting them on a posting schedule, making sure their content's right, making sure hashtags, doing engagement processes, those kind of things. But my main goal is to take Famco to the moon. So yeah, so definitely this will be the only thing I do. I do play some poker too. I used to be a poker professional. I used to play poker. Yeah, I used to be a professional poker player for about 5 years. And once I realized that wasn't sustainable, I took a move out from Jersey and came here. You can be poker for a little while. For a little while, you could be a poker pro. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of time you spend, but it's a hard way to make easy money. Is what they say.
Wow. Wow. That's very interesting. So what is some of the best advice you would give to an entrepreneur or someone that is trying to have a business that deals with like the public part, or social media, or the social media campaign part, or the publicity part of an artist, or people that do like entertainment? What would you tell, like, what's some of the best advice you would give them?
To somebody who's just starting out?
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing is knowing that you're good at something, and then also making sure that you work on that every day. There's people that may not be as good as you, but they are consistent and they put in effort, they put in the long hours. Everything is discipline. Every single thing in life is discipline, because if you're not disciplined, you basically will just, whenever it's time for you to get things done, you'll just push it to the side because it's easy to just not do it. So I would tell an artist, be consistent, know what you're good at, and go full force into that direction, and have discipline, because those three things are going to make you a challenger to somebody who's better at doing what you do. So if you can keep up the consistency, you can be relevant as long as you're not slacking and you're not out there partying. Save your money, spend your money wisely because you're going to need it. But for the most part, know what you're good at, stay consistent, and make sure that every day you're just at it, no excuses.
Right, right. And I definitely think that's some really good advice about the discipline, because it's true, you can be talented, you could be made to do this, but if you don't have the discipline, if you don't have the routine and the schedule, it's hard to keep up with, especially if you're running your own business. And running your own business, has it been very profitable as like running your own business? That's why people are always like afraid to start their own business or afraid to step out and do it. Has it been very profitable for you so far? Have your business?
It has. We went on a little slump there when the COVID lockdowns happened, where I kind of had to
Sure.
pivot. Yeah, because people weren't getting together in spaces. Everybody was at home, and a lot of what I do is a lot of photo shoots and that kind of stuff. So I had to flip a switch and kind of just stay consistent and be just stay above water. But when everything is up into capacity, yes. Here's the thing though: when you first start a business, you have to understand that you're going to have to invest a lot of money to get yourself up off the ground. So I went about a year and a half. I like just offering people stuff for free just to get my name out there. Like when I first started about 8 years ago, I literally was offering artists and designers shoots and blog posts and write-ups and promotion all for free for about a year, just so I can get the ball rolling and get into people's heads. And then I created a system where you can pitch to them, through Instagram or face-to-face or, and show them, hey, I'm of value, so we definitely need to, connect. And if you spend a little money with me, you're going to get $500 worth of service for a $300 package, basically. So, but first and foremost, always remember that before you're profitable, you're going to have to invest into yourself, whatever that means. Too often you see artists that are just like, I'm going to make music. I'm just going to put it on SoundCloud. I'm just going to put it on YouTube. I'm just going to do this. And then that's where the buck stops for them. Like, no, you got to continue to invest into yourself, promotion after promotion and shoot after shoot, stay relevant, stay interesting. And that's basically the road that I took to kind of make sure that I could make the income that I make today.
Oh, okay, great. That is some really good advice. Because when you first do have a business, I mean, you really don't have material, you don't have any portfolio or anything like that. So, like you said, to start your stuff up, you should be, generous with offering your services and being able to connect with people and stuff like that.
100%, absolutely.
So does the famco, or do you, Marvin, do you have any upcoming events or projects?
I don't have any events. I'm hoping that the borders to Vancouver open up so I can travel over there, because Fashion Week for the next season is going to be in October, I believe, or October, I believe, this year. So I'm hoping that Vancouver Fashion Week, the borders for Canada open up so I can travel there. But I do have 2 shoots. I did one shoot with an artist from Jersey just the other day. His name's Keith Chandler. Definitely check him out. Quis Chandler. He's a rapper with a doctorate from Jersey City, New Jersey. I mean, he's a cool brother, and he's definitely got some bars too. So definitely check him out. And I also have a shoot coming up in Vancouver with a model. Her name is Ash Farr, and she's super dope. So I got shoots coming up, but as for events, not so much at the moment.
Okay, so you are a photographer.
I'm not a photographer. I do have photographers underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, by trade, I'm I have photographers underneath the famco company, but by trade, I'm a journalist. I'm a writer.
So you're a journalist. Wow.
Yep.
So, and tell me, what is so this is actually, I'm really glad that you brought that up, that you're a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference that you see? Now, there's so many different people doing podcasts,
mm-hmm.
doing vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
And like a couple times I was like, when did everybody become a journalist? No, but seriously, I was like, when did everybody become a journalist? Because it's really, when you look at journalism, when you see people doing journalism, it's really it can have some complicated things with it. What is it that you see in people's podcasts who who cut on their Instagram and make a podcast up that you see that's like do you ever look at it and be like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you actually say that, because I think it's not even just the podcast realm. I think people see an easy way to kind of, do something creatively. You know what I mean? So everybody wants to be a podcaster. Everybody wants to be a photographer. Everybody wants to be a rapper. Everybody wants to be a model. So I think that it's just, there's a lot of saturation in the creative field. So we definitely, when I look at people doing something for the first time, I'm always like, okay, I'm happy that somebody gets started creatively. But like I said in the beginning, you have to know what you're good at and then go directly in that direction. Like if you're trying to be a rapper and the only people that like you are the people that are around you, if you're trying to be a podcaster and the only people that like you are around you, then you may have to reevaluate, how you're producing, how you're doing things, because everybody's powerful in their own right. You just have to understand what you're powerful at. So when I see somebody doing a podcast and I'm like, it may not be necessarily that they're bad. It just may be that they're new and they're not putting in that effort and those steps to be interesting, relevant, consistent, and all those good things. So, anytime anybody does something new, they're going to suck at it. But people have to understand what they're good at creatively before they just jump into that market, for sure.
Definitely. I had like a small, I remember when I had a small like show before this, before I started doing the Indie Spotlight Philly, I had a thing and it was like about enthusiasts and professionals. And like you said, everyone is creative in their own way, but I'd be wondering, I wonder if some of these people actually, did they ever consult an actual podcast host, or actual host, or did they consult a journalist or something like that? So I find it really, really interesting that I'm talking to someone that went to school for journalism and asking them their perspective of people hosting all of these podcasts and everything like that. And that's true. The internet has solidified and made it so that if you have a certain amount of followers, you can be that. Like it's almost like you didn't put anything in to be that. You can be an Instagram model, like you said. You can be a journalist. You could be this. You could be that. And sometimes I find that strange. I mean, I'm not closed-minded. I love creativity. I love seeing people express themselves. But sometimes it's just like, oh, wow.
And that's just the way it is. You'll be surprised all over the industry. It's like that. Even with music, I listen to a lot of hip hop because I'm always looking for either new talent or new clients or just somebody to push somebody. And when I hear people rapping, I'm like, okay, I kind of get what you're doing, but before you put stuff out, make sure you perfect. Lead with your best foot. Don't just do something because it looks cool or you think that you're cool enough to. Take some time. That's all it is. Anything that manifests itself in the real world always takes time and concentration. So that's what artists need to do before they start jumping out all crazy like that.
Definitely. And that is a lot of it. No, I went to school for music, and that's a lot of it because I noticed that a lot of times we don't see a lot of creativity in music because the machine supports people doing the same thing.
Exactly.
And everybody wants funding to do music, and it's like, well, you got to fit in this box in order to get the funding and that. And if you're creative, if you're doing something different, you would have to fund yourself until the people believe in it, and then everybody, and I'm sure that's with any business. I'm sure that's not just music. But wow.
100%.
Yeah.
You nailed
so also, if you had the chance to collaborate with anybody, such as photographers, singers, actors, or anyone in the fashion industry, designers, or journalists, does anyone come to mind you would want to collaborate with in the near future?
That's a good question. I feel like I'm willing to work with anybody. I try not to be too much of a fan. When I'm around people that I work, even though I do fan geek out. But depending on who I'm working with, every time I go to New York Fashion Week, I had a contract for like 3 seasons with Andy Hilfiger, which is Tommy Hilfiger's brother. He had a brand called Artistics, and like being around that circle of people, you want to fan out and geek out. But you start to realize that even famous people, even people that have some sort of like credentials, some sort of, you know, credit in the industry, they're still regular people. So I never tried, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and sometimes I like other people more than I like, you know, people that are actually, you know,
Yeah.
I like the underground.
Yeah.
You know, I love the independent. I love the independent realm. I love the underground. So there's nobody in particular of a certain notoriety that I would like to hang out with or work with. I just like being around independent artists who are motivated and inspired and like are really trying to do stuff. So not in particular, but anybody who has a little something something to them and a little pizzazz, a little flavor to them, and they trying to do something cool, I'm willing to work with them for sure.
Cool, cool,
Absolutely.
cool. So do you, as taking up journalism and also having your own business and stuff like that and working with many different entities as a collective, do you mentor anyone or do
Um,
you help anyone or
you said, do I mentor anybody?
do you mentor anyone or help anyone, like help anyone do like what you're doing or
Yeah, for sure.
for their business?
Absolutely. So everybody that's under my team at the moment, I have about I have 4 photographers, 2 on the west, 2 on the east. Um, and I have my business partner, Chow. There's a bunch of different people that I actually, not so much a mentor role, but
Uh-huh.
like people know that I have an open door policy. You can hit me at 3 in the morning with a question. You can hit me at 5 in the morning. You can hit me at midnight. You can hit me like I have a very open door policy with the creatives that I work with like closely. And I wouldn't say I'm a mentor per se, but I do have a lot of experience in the industry. So people do look to me whenever they have some sort of issue. But I don't have one person
Hmm.
that I'm like, yep, I'm bringing this person. He's coming up behind me. The closest I would say at the moment is super dope photographer from New York. His name's Shayrenee. I've been working with him a lot. And I wouldn't say I'm a mentor to him, but I'm definitely
Hmm.
using the experience that I have to help him understand his craft better as a photographer, and also how to make some money and how to you know evolve as a business, also as a creative, like a creative business person, entrepreneur. But no, not anybody in specific, but I have a lot of people that I just give game to whenever they want. I'm an open door like that for sure.
Right. So it didn't. Do you have any like? Have you out of all like your interviews you've done, the people you met, and the places you've been at? Do you have any favorite experiences or favorite people that you have worked with that you'd want to share with us?
Absolutely. So the first time I got my start in Vancouver at Vancouver Fashion Week, the first time I've ever been to a fashion week, the first time I've ever experienced that, like it was a time I'll never forget because it was the first time that I seen that my business is possible. My business can actually work if I continue to strive forward and do and be consistent. Because when you get there, it's so fast paced. You're going back and forth. This show's going on. Be quiet. Get into the main room. There's a break. Now go interview this person. Go take a photo shoot. And having that be the first kind of experience that I have, and being from Jersey where it's go, 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 and West Coast is kind of more lax, I realized that I can outwork people. And
Uh
you
huh.
understand? I can outwork people. And if I continuously stay consistent, that I can grow at an exponential rate in comparison to all my competitors, my competition, right? So the first time I ever did Vancouver Fashion Week was an experience. You never forget your firsts, but this was definitely an experience that I wouldn't give up for the world, for sure. First time. That's definitely the one.
Okay. Right. So that was really huge and pivotal moment, and I think you said something that was important about outworking your competition. And I noticed that sometimes when you have your own business or you're being an entrepreneur and you're running a lot of stuff on your own, and a lot of times you start out with not a lot of help, you start out doing everything, and how well you can work under pressure and how well you can multitask and have several things going on, like you said, does bring through the test of time. And then, like you said, you get settled in your business and you're just like, you're working all these different type of angles and you're multitasking and everything like that. So that's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So before I wrap up the interview, I wanted to ask, was there anything you wanted to add, or talk about?
Well, for the most part, I think you guys can always check me out at the famco, thefamcollective.com. Definitely take a look for me there. I just started that Fam Guy as my personal, but definitely follow the Famco for anybody who's interested. I'll leave by saying this. We are, as creatives, we are the backbone of society, period. So we have to make sure that we're doing our best so that the creatives that are coming behind us have a platform, have a direction, have a blueprint, because the way the world's going, a lot of independent business and a lot of entrepreneurs have popped up out of nowhere, and we have to learn how to support each other as creative. You know what I mean? So I just want everybody who does have a creative mindset, or anybody who's an artist or an entrepreneur or a business person, to remember that even though you are the backbone to your company, you also are just one piece. Like Dick Gregory says, he says, to every ant on the ground, to every leaf on a tree, they each have a responsibility to that one. So that one leaf has a responsibility to that tree. That one ant has a responsibility to that ant farm, that ant hill. So as creatives, even though we are independent in our own right, we are also a cog in the machine of just creativity as a whole. So make sure you support yourself, but support other people too.
Well, I want to tell you, Marvin Ryles of the famco, I want to tell you thank you so much for coming to the Indie Spotlight Philly. I really enjoyed interviewing you. And I wanted to tell everyone that was watching, thank you for tuning in. And our second interview will be coming up next. And I hope to see a lot of your upcoming events or shoots and everything like that. And I've never been to the West Coast, but hope maybe one day.
Come and check it out. But I appreciate you too, Shay. Thank you for having me on your platform.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a really good night.
You as well. Take care.
Well, yeah.
Bye.